Is Hamilton still a buyer's market in 2026? That's a question a lot of people are asking, whether they're thinking about buying, selling, or moving up within Hamilton. I'm Nick Bucallo, broker with Casora Realty, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through what the current market is actually telling us. Not the headlines, not the noise, just the numbers and what they mean for real people on the Hamilton Mountain, in Ancaster, and in Stoney Creek. Before we get into Hamilton specifically, it helps to define what we mean by buyer's market. In simple terms, a buyer's market is when there's more supply than active demand, so buyers usually have more choice, more time, and more negotiating power. A seller's market is the opposite. Low inventory, multiple offers, and a lot of pressure to act fast. And then in the middle, you've got a balanced market, where both sides have some leverage and pricing matters a lot more. Right now, Hamilton is not behaving like the recent market peak years. We're a long way from the times when homes would get snapped up instantly and buyers had to go in with no conditions just to compete. The market has cooled for sure, and in many segments we're seeing more choice, longer days on market, and less urgency than we were used to a few years ago. That doesn't automatically mean every pocket is a buyer's market, but it does mean the overall feel is much more balanced these days. And in some areas, buyers absolutely have more room to negotiate than they did before. What matters most is that Hamilton isn't one single market. The Hamilton Mountain, Ancaster, and Stoney Creek all behave a little bit differently, even within themselves, and that's where a lot of people get tripped up. You can't just ask, is Hamilton up or down, and stop there. You have to ask, where is my area sitting relative to the rest of the city, and how does that change my decision if I'm buying, selling, or trying to move up? That's the real value in local data, because the answer can be different depending on whether you're looking at a family home on the mountain, a premium detached in Ancaster, or a luxury townhome in Stoney Creek. If you're a buyer, the biggest advantage in a more balanced market is that you can be more thoughtful. You're not usually forced into a panic decision the same way you were a few years ago. That means you can pay closer attention to things like condition, days on market, whether the price is realistic, and whether the seller is actually willing to negotiate. The key is not just to say, great, I have more power. The key is to use that power well, because the best opportunities usually come from the homes that are priced correctly and have been sitting long enough for the market to actually speak. If you're a seller, this market is still very workable, but you need to be realistic. The old strategy of just listing high and waiting for multiple offers is not the default anymore. Presentation matters more, pricing matters more, and patience matters more. That doesn't mean you can't get a strong result. It just means the market is rewarding homes that are well prepared, well presented, and priced with the current conditions in mind. For move-up buyers, this is where the conversation gets interesting. If your current home has held up reasonably well, but the home you want has softened a little more, that can improve your position. That's why it's not enough to ask, are prices up or down? The better question is, how has the gap between my current home and my target home changed? That gap is what determines whether moving up feels impossible, doable, or actually attractive again. So, is Hamilton in a buyer's market in 2026? In some areas, yes. The accurate answer is buyers definitely have more leverage than they have in the past. But it depends greatly on the area you're looking and the property type. If you want help figuring out what that means for your home, your budget, or the area you're looking in, go to homesaleshamilton.ca and register, or DM me the word PLAN on Instagram at Nicky Bucallo. I'm Nick Bucallo, broker with Casora Realty, and I help Hamilton families make confident move-up decisions with real data.